So lawmakers were grilling former Twitter executives over the censoring of the New York Post explosive story on Hunter Biden prior to the 2020 election.
I've been clear that in my judgment at the time, Twitter should not have taken action to block the New York Post's reporting. And just 24 hours after doing so, the company acknowledged its error.
Twitter changed its policy within 24 hours and admitted its initial action was wrong. In hindsight, Twitter should have reinstated the Post account immediately.
So should Facebook and all the others. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon pressing those ex-employees, and he joins us now. Congressman, so they admitted they're wrong, and they said you guys were overreacting for a story that would only delay the Post story 24 hours. That is not the case, but that's how the Democrats were playing it.
Yeah, and that's not true at all. I mean, the New York Post was locked out of their account, Brian, for 2 weeks. And there's serious evidence that shows that the FBI and Twitter were colluding and conspiring, which is a gross violation of federal law vis-a-vis the Hatch Act. And that's why we needed to get them under oath and on the record.
So here's your effort to try to do that yesterday.
Mr. Roth, to the best of your knowledge, what percentage of your colleagues when you worked at Twitter donated to Democratic causes or candidates in 2020?
I don't know, sir.
We have it here. It was 98.4%. Believe it or not, those numbers actually went up in the 2022 cycle to 99.7%. Did you receive 10 confidential documents from Special Agent of the FBI, Elvis Chan, the night before the Hunter Biden laptop story ran?
Yes.
So the laptop is one side of the story, Pat, Congressman, but the other side of the story is what the FBI did leading up to and after. The FBI was constantly on the phone with Twitter saying, take down this account. What about this account? This is Russian disinformation. What do you think? And Twitter would come back and say, no, this wasn't. But they actually got $3 million. And as Matt Taibbi said, they were remarkably underpaid by how much the FBI was on top of Twitter to do they probably had a proclivity to do anyway.
Well, yeah, the FBI was, again, they should be playing no role whatsoever in this. And they kept using a dodge by saying, well, we're trying to fight foreign interference in the election cycle, when ironically they were the ones that were interfering with the election cycle. I mean, the Hunter Biden laptop story and the evidence that was in there, the Media Research Center ran a poll and said 17% of Democrats in key swing states would have changed their vote. President Trump needed 100,000 people, 100,000 vote swing. That's a potential of 3.2 million person swing. And Twitter changed and altered the 2020 election.
So what was the goal yesterday, and where do you go from here?
So we're going to go where the evidence leads us. The goal was to get the Twitter executives under oath and on the record. And there's a multitude of different ways we can go now because, of course, we have the Twitter files and the folks that put them together. And I think that we should be asking them things as well, because what they were saying yesterday was very thin and it didn't add up. And if you purge yourself under oath, that's a crime. And that's where you can see here them taking that oath. And so this is just the beginning. We need to know if the President of the United States is compromised and if he and his family are threats to national security.
So the FBI came back and said this: the FBI rejects the characterization of inappropriate relationship with Twitter or any other social media company. The FBI does not instruct or direct any social media company to censor an account or remove information. But as Jonathan Turley will tell you, I think today, when the FBI calls over and says, what about this, what about this, what about this, they basically are saying, you know what to do. Do the right thing. They were constantly in contact. And it really flies in the face of what they're proclaiming to happen.
Yeah, they're meddling with the American political process. And that, again, is something that is forbidden for federal employees to do, particularly on the taxpayer dime.
All right, and will FBI whistleblowers be coming forward?
I believe that you'll be very interested to see what's going to unfold in the next weeks and months, Brian.
All right, we'll find out. Thanks so much. Congressman Pat Fallon, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Coming up, America's